One. Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here, back with another 100K coaching program interview. Today we have the amazing Helena, who is a hypnotherapist that's helping people quit smoking. Helena has probably one of the most incredible stories when it comes to trying to run her business, grow her business, the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur, and what she has done, which has just been remarkable in such a small amount of time. As you can see from the big smile on her face, we've gone from absolute chaos in her business to just one of absolute clarity, bringing in money, getting constant clients, and just really being able to forecast where her business is going to be into the close future. So I'm very excited for this one. So firstly, Helena, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be great.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so looking forward to sharing my story.
Excellent. Well, I think that's the best place for us to start. Look, let's go all the way back to the start. How did you find, or how did you get into hypnotherapy and coaching and stuff? Tell us about that and what led you into becoming a practitioner.
Sure. So I became a hypnotherapist out of curiosity, and it turned into something that I started a practice. So I went to a hypnotherapist, and she helped me so much that I just asked her, like, how do you learn what you do? She goes, go to school. I'm like, where? And I was in school, and the teacher one time was saying, so when you open up your practice, I looked at her and went, what? She goes, why are you here? I'm like, I'm just curious. You mean someone's going to pay me? And that opened up my whole world. And
So what were you doing at that time? Did you have a job? Were you an entrepreneur before that? What was happening before?
I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, all the way to the 90s, the 2000s. I've had contracts. I've done sales. I used to organize really large conventions and trade shows.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was an administrator for a forestry association,
Mm-hmm.
and I was taking my training on the weekends.
Okay. So how long was the training for? Was it like just a weekend over a certain amount of weekends, or was it a full-time thing?
It was over a period of a year, and it was, I think, one weekend a month.
Mm-hmm.
And what was great was I thought I'd graduate and went, woohoo, I got my certificate. And I realized I really didn't know very much.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Scott, like so many people, I went after training to another training
Mm-hmm.
and another training.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually graduated in 2012, but I saw my first client in 2016.
Wow. So there's a long period between being certified and seeing your first client.
Lack of confidence in knowing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. So what were you doing, like between that gap between being certified and your client? Were you trying to start the practice? Were you trying to get clients? What was happening?
I was trying, but I was, giving out a business card, but not really hoping anybody would hire me. And then, I would do it for free. I just do it for free for friends, for family, for friends of friends, really who should have been paying because they were getting great results.
Mm-hmm. And when did you decide to take it okay, you know what? I could do this as a business. I'm going to take this seriously. I need to learn about pricing and all that. When did that come about?
So that came about in 2016. We moved, my husband and I moved from Vancouver, the British Columbia, Canada, to Vancouver Island. And an opportunity came up for an office space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took it and I set it all up. And it was about 2 or 3 months. My husband's like going, are you ever going to see a client?
Yeah.
And so I got a little extra help. I think I talked to a couple of hypnotherapists, did some hypnotherapy, where's this lack of confidence?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a doctor's referral first client that came in.
Oh, wow.
And I have to tell you, I had all my scripts all ready to go. And he came in for something so obscure, there's no script for it.
Right.
And it was easy peasy. I'd broken the first client, took money for that, and there off I went.
Excellent. So did you, I think I know the answer to this, but did you have a niche or anything like that? Or you just literally, anybody that wants to see me, I guess I'll try and see them?
The list was like this long, like this long.
Yeah.
Sure, I can do all that.
Excellent. So after that first client paid you and you had good success, what was the next move for you? I guess it was a good confidence booster.
It was a good confidence booster. So then I printed up, I love this, I printed up rack cards and started handing them out around town and introducing myself to everybody, started working on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Working on the website, building pages and special pages. Oh, I love journals. I was the queen of journals. Oh, my
Mm-hmm.
client's going to need a journal. Oh, how about a free gift? How about a free book? I was just anything and everything to add value.
Mm-hmm. And what was the result of those things?
They didn't want them.
Really?
They're like, no, this is good. It was like the transformation they were experiencing in the hypnotherapy session
Mm-hmm.
was what they wanted, and
Mm-hmm.
they were getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then the referrals started to come in, so
Okay.
that was good. But I was working still.
Okay.
And so my focus was on working. It was the steady income from that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was always the side thing. And
Mm-hmm.
it never kind of got off the ground because I was off at conferences, doing work over here, there.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no momentum.
Mm-hmm. And when did you decide to make it full time? Obviously something happens. When did you think, you know what, I should be doing this full time, or I can do this full time?
It was last October, September, October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I had been traveling so much for these conferences, I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that I didn't want to travel anymore.
Mm.
And so then it was like, I'm going to do this full time. But because I hadn't put any consistency, any systems in place, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what pricing. Oh, my prices change from day to day to week.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like good for a couple of weeks and then bad. It was just it was kind of disheartening, actually.
Mm.
It was disheartening.
What was it like for you to know you wanted to do something but couldn't figure it out for yourself?
Oh, so frustrating. I have spent so much money on different courses, marketing courses.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some business coaches. I've had some marketing coaches courses. They were good, but there was always something missing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what it was. And then I started watching your videos
Mm-hmm.
and on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for a good 3 months. I think I watched every YouTube video you had out there. And I'm like, okay, there's the secret is in here somewhere. And what you were saying was making sense. But yeah. And then COVID happened.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's where we first talked during that phase. So what was happening then?
Well, it was months of no steady income from a contract, and then a few months of up and down sales, and then COVID, no more face-to-face. I had been doing some online stuff, but not enough. And I was looking into the future going, if this COVID thing continues on, how am I going to pay my mortgage?
Right.
Really, how am I going to pay my mortgage? And so I reached out to you, and it was in quite the state of desperation. I remember getting off the strategy call with you, recognizing how chaotic my thinking was. And all the things I was trying to do was draining me. My husband would say, how many more hours do you want to sit working on your website, doing all the social media, all your handouts, brochures, blah, 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 blah. He goes, you need more clients. I know.
So like, what was at stake here if this didn't work? Because when we got on the call, as most are, they're in a state of desperation. For some reason, we seem to be the last hope for our program, for our students to jump into. What was at stake there if this didn't work for you? Because obviously the contracts are going down with your normal work. You're not getting paid clients. What was at stake?
I was looking for jobs. I was looking online for jobs. I was subscribing to different job posts and looking at what's available. And what was available in my area was not going to even pay my mortgage.
Right.
Jobs around where I live tend to be long-term government jobs. And no one's leaving those. And other jobs were lower paying, working for other people. And I knew that I had a skill and a talent that was valuable. I'm the stop smoking lady. I love to help people stop smoking in like one session. And I knew that where I live, there's a lot of smokers. And so what was at stake was getting a job, maybe 2 jobs.
Right. What was missing from the business, do you think? You know, I think it's interesting to isolate where most people's minds are when it comes to growing a business. What was missing from your business, do you think, to where it is now?
Focus,
Mm-hmm.
that this is a business,
Mm-hmm.
and a business takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not having a client, I am working on the business.
Mm-hmm.
I am doing my Facebook stuff. I'm reaching out to people. It's I'm connecting more with people. I was invisible before on the internet, and now I'm much more visible.
Mm-hmm.
People are starting to like my stuff and notice and comment. It's like, wow. So focus and consistency and niching. Niching.
Yeah.
Niching. And
Yeah.
so instead of me talking about everything that I can do, I picked a subject, smoking, stopping smoking, as my topic.
Excellent. So before getting into the niching part, like when you were doing some social media, what were you talking about exactly?
Oh my gosh, I was going down, like one post was on weight loss, one's on stop smoking, one's on confidence, one's on sexual dysfunction, one's on marriage, relationships, oh, this technique, that technique.
So just talking about every subject possible, but also talking about the how you do things, which clients don't care about.
They don't care. Yes, because they don't know what hypnosis is. They
Yeah.
don't know what NLP is, or EFT, or emotion code, or whatever I'm using.
So we had our chat, yeah, and you were on that desperation, like, man, this has to work. There's no choice. You got off the strategy call. What happened next?
I went, get it, believe it or not, Scott, I can't afford to pay your low price. That's where I was. It was, I'm looking at my dollars going, where am I going to spend it? And over about a month period, I don't know quite what happened or how I survived. It was, I came back and I went, this is it. I got to do it. And I just put the money down. And immediately it was, oh my gosh, there's a community of people. You have a community that helps one another. You help, but other people are helping too. And all of a sudden, it was like light bulb. Oh.
You got to be surrounded by those people. I think from the reports that we get, that community that's full of you and all the other therapists and coaches is more valuable than the lifetime value we give on the program. And I really think by surrounding yourself with people that, went from absolute zero where you were to now crushing it, I think that helps us play at a whole different level. It sort of rubs off on you that you become that same type of person.
That's right. It does. It's the community that's super great. But your program is awesome. Like it actually tells me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and how to do it. And then I got to go do it.
Yeah, that's the hard part. And look, for a lot of programs, I've been in those programs where you get taught like the high level theory, you get taught the idea, gets us really, really excited. Then they say, go out and do it. But there's no steps. There's no do this, do that, click this button, say this word. And I think that's what's missing with a lot of these programs, hence why you were on different programs before and nothing happened.
That's right.
So when you dived into the program, what happened next? Obviously, the first part of the program is about niching and pricing and things like that. What happened then?
Well, I started getting phone calls from people, and I have your sales strategy or your strategy call, or is the 4 questions, and I have it there where my phone is. So when the phone rings and it's in my purse, it's just like, find that piece of paper, and I ask the questions. And then it's so what what would you like to do next? Oh, you want to come in tomorrow? Let me see. Oh, yes or no, or in 2 days. I mean, you can come in at 10, 1, or 4. Which one would you like?
Yeah. Excellent. So you pretty much had people starting to call you straight away.
Yeah.
So do you think that was from niching down, or was it just getting clarity on focus on what you're doing? How was that related?
I believe it was clarity and focus on what I'm doing. So I'm an energy practitioner, and I know about what I'm vibing. When I'm calm, stuff comes. When I'm chaotic, the phone doesn't ring. The emails don't come in. but more so my mindset when they did call, because I've had people call all the time. It was the clarity on the phone call that I had that was able to lead the client down the road for them to realize they have a problem and I have a solution.
And that's all it is, isn't it?
It is.
Yep. It doesn't have to be any more complex.
What do you say? I help clients get from their current situation to their desired situation. That's what I do. That's my job.
That's it. So that's your elevator speech. That's your marketing message. That's everything. That's all it is. Clients don't care how we do it. They just want to know, if I book Helena in to quit smoking, can I get it done? Can she help me? That's all they're paying for. So
I'm so confident. I offer a lifetime guarantee.
There you go. Excellent. So what, before you dived into the program, you were charging for just, random niches and random problems. What were you charging back then?
I would be charging something like $150 a session for random stuff. And now, and then when I stopped smoking, it had different price points. And I immediately, when I joined your program and I started being in the Facebook group, I was like, I upped all my prices. And now I just tell people that's what it is. And then I started selling some, packages that are like, transformation packages. People, it's like, well, it's going to take you, I don't know how long it's going to take you, but here, you want the result? I'm going to give you the result. You want to work together?
Beautiful.
So for my stop smoking, I charge $598 for the 1 2-hour session.
Wonderful. Can't get that at a job.
No, we can't.
So what was that like when the first couple of clients started to say yes at those prices?
It was like, oh my gosh, I could have said this before, but it was good, and I felt congruent with the pricing. In Canada, people are spending between $450 and $600 a month.
Wow.
On cigarettes. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, do the simple maths.
That's right.
Yeah. So now that you're starting to see just the stop smoking clients, your prices are almost, 4 to 5 times what they were. Give me a rundown. What's it like now working on the business each day? Like, what is a day-to-day for Helena, working the business, getting clients and all that? What does that look like?
It is clear and clarity. I'm no longer making another brochure or a journal. I am thinking about doing the research for what kind of Facebook post am I going to do today? What kind of Facebook Live am I going to do today? I'm invested a little bit more money in a light for the camera, and then taking my time learning how to upload to YouTube and doing all those things, which you teach us how to do. Yeah.
So it's spending the money on the business, not on stuff that clients don't want.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. So what's your revenue look like now? I mean, we had that massive testimonial from you, you know, what you've done. If you're happy to share that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So precisely for the month of July 2020, it was $9,472. Wow.
What was that like?
I actually did the report because it comes out of my online calendar. I was looking at it and I did it 3 times. So I went, is that right?
That's my calculator working. Yeah.
And it was like, but I didn't see that many clients.
80-20.
That's right.
What was the months before that like?
Well, let me see. March, April, May. Let's call it $2,000 a month.
Wow. And that's just the beginning. You've only been in the program for what, 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks?
Maybe 6 weeks. Maybe. Yeah.
How does your husband feel?
He goes, just do that again and again.
Just
and
repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Yeah.
That's right. He is so happy for me because he's seen me work so hard.
Yeah.
And he knows how much I love it. He's around town and he'll drive my car, and it's got the stop smoking lady on the back window.
Yeah.
And so he's handing out the cards and people are coming up to him going, oh, your wife helped me stop smoking. And
wonderful.
So,
yeah. Excellent. So what do you think it's like for you to have support And that's a big thing for us, but also having your husband on your side as well. What's that like for you as a business owner?
It feels so good because I don't know if anyone out there has ever walked around in eggshells with like a secret that life is not going that well, financially.
Mm-hmm.
And it can create, as people know, a little hidden tension in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that that's lifted from me, gosh, we're even getting along better than before.
Mm-hmm.
So the support is really great. Like today, he's out in the yard working on something, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" "Oh, I'm going to go do this interview." Good for you. Get more of those.
Excellent. Wonderful. I think that support's so important because unless you're in it as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's so hard to describe what this life is like and how inside of our minds we are so often thinking about the good, the bad, the ugly, the great. It's just that constant reflexive cycle of all those emotions. But I think having that support to have someone keep you stable, I think that's super important when it comes to building a business.
That is absolutely. And I've got a few hypnotherapist friends, and they're supporting too, which is really nice. But it's nice to have that personal relationship support.
Yeah. So moving through the program, what do you think has been the biggest change for you? Knowing where you were before and what you were trying to where you are now, what's been the biggest change for you?
I would say the confidence in speaking to a potential client, and sometimes they're not a match. And instead of trying to get them in because I need the money, this is not a match. You're not ready. Call me back when you're ready. Go have a think about it and get back to me. And they do. So there's no more worry to try and get every single client that calls, because sometimes they're not the right match.
Yeah, and I think, with the low prices and random niching, you basically have to hope that every client's a match. Or you take them on even if you know they're not, and they just become a nightmare client because you have to get paid.
That's right.
Not a good way to run a business.
One other thing is you talk about the spider web strategy. That started to show up organically in my business.
Beautiful.
Now. I help them stop smoking, and now, can you help me stop drinking?
There you go. Once we get that expert label on us, and we don't have to market ourselves outside of the niche, we allow our clients to niche out for us. That's the whole purpose of that. And of course you can. You're a hypnotherapist. You've been highly trained. Of course you can help people with that other stuff, but we can't violate the rule of just having one niche. So that's perfect. So for you, knowing that you're just under the $10,000 a month, which is awesome, moving into the new month, what are we, a week in? What's the goal for this month?
It would be $10,000, because that was the number I came to you in our strategy call. That was the number I wanted to make each month. And eventually it would be, can I tell you my number?
Absolutely.
$240,000 is what I would like to bring in revenue. That's my target. When I do that, Scott, that's where I go, I made it. I did it. That's the target.
So that's only double what you're doing now. And you did it the first time, you did 10 grand, just under 10 grand in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You can see how we can forecast and see how that's going to work because we know how we did it the first time.
That's right.
If I would have said to you, let's get you $240,000 a year based on what you knew before the program, what would you have said?
I don't have enough energy or time to generate that kind of money.
That's a lot of clients based on the old model.
That's right.
So where do you think you'd be now? I mean, again, you've only been in the program for 6 odd weeks. If you hadn't dived in, and like everybody realized, Helena didn't dive into the program straight away. There was a bit of a thinking process before she dived in. Where do you think the business would be right now?
It would be pretty close to non-existent, and I'd probably be in another city working on a contract for someone else.
Because you were right on the edge of having to do that anyway.
That's right.
So if you look at what you've done, even with COVID hit, isn't that interesting? When this COVID virus hit, you've done more in your business with the coronavirus ravaging everybody else than where you were before. It's quite interesting.
It is, and it's the referrals already are coming in, and the testimonials. If you take a look at my Facebook page, it's just like, wow, what an amazing strategy asking for a testimonial.
Yeah, excellent. So $240,000 for the year is the goal. What other goals do you have for this business? You know, what else do you want to accomplish? Do you have any other projects you're trying to get off the ground? What else is happening?
I had already created a while ago an online stop smoking program. So that's a self-paced program. I would like to develop that further. I've actually am in talks with somebody that works with some companies that could get it out to a large US network.
Beautiful.
So that is very exciting.
Big things are coming. Excellent. So what would you say to people that were in your situation before and sort of lost hope with what's possible compared to, you know, where you were now to what you're doing right now? What would you say to them?
Well, book a strategy call with Scott.
Start there.
And then get first of all clear if you want to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is actually cut out to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs work, I think, harder on their business than an employee does. And yeah, so if you want to be an entrepreneur, then get the right help, the right coaching, put the right systems in place, and be part of a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Awesome. So any words of wisdom? You know, you're going to have a lot of female entrepreneurs, female business owners, definitely therapists and coaches watching this. What would be your words of wisdom for them?
I would, my words of wisdom is go into your heart, find out what kind of client you like to work with, and then kind of look at the marketplace. Is there a need for that kind of help? Because
listen to the client.
Listen to the client.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Helena. That's awesome. I'm going to let you get back to your day, start booking in some more stop smoking clients. For anybody watching this who is considering quitting smoking, I highly recommend go see Helena. Where can these people find you, Helena? I'll also link, guys, her Facebook page and her website and stuff below in the comments. But where's the easiest and the best place for people to find you to inquire about your services?
You can find me on Facebook, just send me a friend's request, and also helenajenikin.com or thestopsmokinglady.com.
You got that URL. Fantastic.
I do.
Excellent. Well, Helena, thank you so much. That's awesome, guys. Please take this as an inspiration from where Helena was to where she is now. As she'll attest to, it's a lot of hard work. This is not an overnight thing. You have to be committed. And you have to make sure this is what you want to do. This is not like a get-rich-quick scheme program where you can just press one button, it's going to happen. I know how hard Helena's worked in this. I can see the results she's getting, but this is all based on the inputs that she puts into this business and how she set everything up. So, Helena, thank you so much. That was awesome. It's great to see where you are now. And only 6 weeks in. This is going to be huge where this is going.
Thank you, Scott.
My absolute pleasure. We'll talk soon. I'll see you in the community. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'll see you on the next interview. Thank you, Helena. We'll see you over in the community. Thank you.